Love, dating and swiping left and right, all important social activities, especially among young people. But what happens when these topics are used for a larger purpose? Today we'll be exploring an innovative method of increasing voter turnout, dating app canvassing, one woman's unique mission to use the power of online dating to increase turnout in the Wisconsin Supreme Court election. 26-year-old Christy Johnston, press secretary for the organization, NextGen, is the mastermind behind this one-of-a-kind campaign. She utilizes her Hinge profile to engage potential voters, using selfies and pictures of her and her friends, as well as crafting prompts such as "the key to my heart is being pro-choice and together, we could vote on April 4th and get drinks after." The stakes in this Wisconsin Supreme Court race are high. This election will decide whether or not the court will lean conservative, and will thus decide the fate of future laws on abortion and voting rights. At the height of the pandemic, NextGen switched to virtual organizing, which is when Johnston got the idea for this new method of canvassing. With millennials uninterested in answering their phones and quickly deleting texts they receive, they felt they needed to get creative to reach them. And here's the thing, with a Vanderbilt University study showing that 31% of millennial respondents were using online dating services more often since the pandemic started, it only made sense. Johnston's efforts seemed to be a stroke of genius, as exit polls from the November 2022 midterms showed that 70% of young voters in Pennsylvania turned out to now Senator John Fetterman's advantage. 79,000 young Wisconsin voters showed up and secured a win for the Democratic Governor Tony Evers, who defeated his Republican opponent, Tim Michels, by 89,000 votes. This is how the dating app organizing officially began. For the past few weeks, Johnston has been using various dating apps to help increase voter turnout for today's Wisconsin Supreme Court election, and her efforts are proving effective. However, this has had a negative effect on her romantic life, as potential dates become intimidated once they discover she is a voting organizer. Despite the occasional negative response, Johnston has been successful in getting messages out to potential voters, with some of her pickup lines being downright cheesy. But not all have been turned off by this method. Bumble's user in Texas proved it to be effective, when she reported one of her matches to the FBI, and it turned out he had participated in the 6th of January riots in Washington, D.C. For now, the true success of Johnston's organizing efforts remain to be seen, though she has logged many volunteer swipe hours. Now that the polls have closed, Johnston is looking forward to a few drinks with the potential dates, whether it leads to love or not. All in all, Johnston has given us an interesting way to think about increasing voter turnout amongst millennials. Many of them rely on and trust online dating apps, whether for finding love or for aiding in political campaigns. Who knows, maybe this will be the new way of canvassing in upcoming elections.